First, I will tell a little about little history and little background. I have been farming. I'm an educated farmer, been farming. I have started up high school and so on. But when I was 38 years old, well, I felt that I was too busy, that my life was like a kind of surviving. Where is my life? I want living. Why don't I do it? Why don't I go ahead with my life, with my family, with my society? No, I was too busy. Then I said, okay, why is it like that? It's all about economy, about work, and our way of West European rationality. I think it's too much. And our rationality, it's the one who sets goals. We just go for it. You go for it. And everything about you, it doesn't matter. You just go forwards. And then you have to go fast. You accelerate what you can accelerate. And I said, no way. This rationality, it's based on the struggle against nature, against the nature out there, against our air, our sea, our land, ourselves. I said, we must stop it. How can I stop this? I must make another foundation. I must make another kind of economy. I must get rid of the loans from the banks, from the credit institutions. I must get rid of the subsidies from the state. I must I must take back space and time for life. That was what I wanted. I say, okay, if I should succeed in that, then I need to get rid of these loans. I have to be mortgage free. I have to be free of subsidies. And I have to start where I create no garbage, no waste. I have to cooperate. I have to have respect for nature and also my own nature. So, well, okay, I started there. I said, okay, then I make my own house for my own money. And to do that, and I do it without any garbage. And I started with that in '92 and made my first house during 3 years. It was based on rammed earth, timber from the forest, and reeds from the sea, and so on. No, not from the lake. And I succeeded. I did it for my own money, and with very low cost. My cost to live in that house, it was less than 6,000 kroners a year, 500 kroners a month. And it meant suddenly that I only had to use 1 day a week to earn money. Yeah, it was a kind of freedom. Wow. Is it really? Is it right? Steen, don't you have to work anymore? You must work. It's because what I have learned, I'm a producer. I have to do something. Well, okay, but I just make development with the buildings and, well, to put down cost, put down. So since '95, I have made workshops and built houses, at least one house a year until 2017. In 2002, I said, okay, it's only not for me. We must be more. We have to create a village. And then we started the village called Friland, and now you'll see about it is here in the neighborhood. I think I can change with this. We try and see what happens. No, we go directly to an off-grid house. But I created a village together with other people. We had 10 hectares in 2002, where we have made a village, and it was on the basis of natural materials, straw, clay, sand, timber, reeds, shells, whatever. But it was made for our own money. It was on the principle of that we could pay it ourselves, and it gave us some freedom. We succeeded. It was fulfilled. And then I said, okay, next step, well, I'm project manager. When you're nearly finished with something, I have to go on with the next. When you're nearly finished, then you create the next. So I wanted not only to be independent of state and market, I wanted also to make an off-grid where we're independent of electricity, wastewater, and heating, and whatever. So it was the off-grid house. And here I made an example together with pupils on the folk high school where we made an off-grid house. Yeah, this is architecture. It's in a greenhouse. We put the house into a greenhouse. Yes, and this is the members. And it was young people. Well, they had never been in work, really, I guess. They had been studying. They were very wise people, very big heads, but no hands. No. I really had to learn them to do this. I was a farmer. I knew how to work. They didn't. But they learned it. Yes, we went into the forest, and we did it all by hand because they had to learn. It was our fitness center. Yeah. And here we go on. This is the space, a storage for our wastewater. It's in mussel shells. I'll show you later. But all the wastewater from the house will be stored here during the winter. And wastewater, well, it's smelling. So you put soil on it, and then there's no smell. But then you can grow tomatoes, cucumbers, whatever you want. Yeah, we go on here, and it's crossed shells, and there we have the floor. It is an earthen floor, well, clay and sand. And you can see the timber over there we took directly from the forest. Yeah, and then we put this over, a climate thing, so we could work dry all the way because we needed straw. And it is a straw bale house we are making here. And straw, it can burn. Oh yes, here it's just a picture. Well, these people, they did it. They didn't know anything about building. They didn't know that this project, it was impossible. They didn't know. I never told them before we were finished. And then we said, well, in reality, this could not be done, but we have done it. Yeah, to protect the straw, we protect it against fire with clay, sand, clay plaster. And you really get, you get happy about these things when you're doing it. It looked like, yeah, and there's, the wall is finished. And here we put the house in the middle. And the protection, it stayed there. You can use the protection for saving water. And out here to the south, we still have some area where we can put the wastewater and where we can grow the tomatoes. We use all the wastewater. There's no outlet. It means you go out in your greenhouse, eat the tomatoes, grapes, and whatever you have, and you go back to the toilet, and it gets down there and goes back to the greenhouse. Yes, we circulate things. We have made the same about, I also developed a smoke washer. So you use all the particles, all the nutrients from the smoke. There's no outlet. Yeah, and here's a room on the top of the house, very nice room. Yeah, look like that. And then next step, well, now we have shown we could make an off-grid house. Then we want to produce these houses. And we have bought this factory. We are 160 people who has bought it in cash. We have, the payment is 8 million kroner. Each participant has placed 50,000 kroner times 160, 8 millions. Yeah, here's a picture. We are near to a harbor where we can go fishing, and we can also have plants from the sea. In the factory, well, we can produce. At the time, we produce a lot of tiny houses, but we also have a lot of space for making culture. And up here to the north of the factory, we have bought a farm, 10 hectares, and we are buying 5 hectares more now, so we can up at the space up there, we can create a village that is based on being market-free, free of subsidies, free of garbage, and also an off-grid village. Oh yes, here's a picture. Here's a picture from Friland, just to how it will look. Also, our new village, it will be something like this. It'll have this look, and there's also a photo from Friland. It is developed, and now Grobund will be a step more forward. This is Grobund, where we can produce, make handicrafts, make culture. We can make a folk high school. We want to show a new way of farming. It is so in Denmark, farming for young people, it's not possible. They cannot come in, it's too expensive. The average age in farming in Denmark, it's nearly my age, I'm 67, but the average age in farming in Denmark, it's 64. Young people cannot come in. It's the same around fishing. It's so crazy. So we want also to show new ways of fishing, and it means we are all the way around now. We have made a space where we get creators, because the normal life today, well, we are spectators. We are just sitting, looking at the screen and what's happening. And we get so wise, so much information, no action. And that's the only enemy, really, I think. It's inaction. We have to go to action. And that space we have created here. Also, young people, we need a space where you have a balance between head, hand, and heart. And when you get that space, you can go into action. Because if you only head, it's only talk, writing, communication. Nothing is happening. If you only hands, it's just work. And somebody have to tell you what you should work with. You have to be a salary worker. We are educated for salary, nothing else. We have created institutions that, well, I see it today. Max Weber, he talked about the rationality, the iron jail of rationality. It's nearly more than 100 years ago now, he talked about that. We still go on in these jails. And now, as I see it, we have created jails for our children. We put them into institutions when they are half a year old, and they come out when they are 20, and they don't know what to do, because I need a work, and no one needs me. No, we have to change range so that we go into action. So we can create, and to do that, to go in action, you need the balance between head, hand, and heart. I think it's very important to understand, because we have got so specialized that, well, we're just sitting around, waiting for something, waiting that it goes to hell. Because we look at the screen and can see, whoa, it's going. It goes wrong. No, I want to get out of this train. I have created a new space. And not to say that it's not easy, but it's very exciting. I'm in life, I'm alive. So I can say, well, just go on. It was about Grobund. Yeah, I think we can take some questions.
I really want to visit Grobund.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And I also have some, if anyone wants to participate, well, it's cheap.
It's cheap,
50,000.
okay.
50,000.
50,000 kronor, kan jag få 50,000?
50,000, then you're part in a factory. 50,000, you have a building site. And that's also part of this. Keep prices down. We have made it so that the ownership of the land and the factory, it's in a foundation. We have put our money into a foundation. The foundation lent it out to a corporation. And then we have the rights to use it and administrate it. But the rights of the land, it's in the foundation.
So the financing is these 50,000 people, or not
Yes.
50,000 people.
Okay.
Hope.
Okay, come someday.
But who's coming there?
Well, we are divided. We are so lucky that I got a lot of young people. 1/3, more than 30%. They are less than 30 years old, and then there's between 30 and 50 years. There's 1/3, and 1/3 is more than 50. Well, I'm 67, but well, we have created a space where the young people, they have the energy, but they have no experience. We have experience.
Mentorship
We have
from
experience,
you,
and we really can cooperate and in respect. It's a new situation. It's very, fantastic.
I was thinking when you talked about, because I totally agree that young people, we need head, heart, and hand.
Yeah.
I understand what you're creating there, but how could you do get to more of that, generally speaking, in our society?
Well, I think we have to organize in a new way. When I provocate, I say, we tear down these schools. Just make them for rooms where we can produce something, because the children, we have taken totally out of production. They are out in their jails, and we work. We should go back to a space where children and adults, we can create together. We have to organize production in a new way, so production and school is the same.
So in Grobund, what could that mean if you take school, for
I think
example?
we make homeschools.
Homeschool.
Well, yeah. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. And what would you teach in the homeschools?
Well, they will teach how we can produce things. It is so today, when you have to do a thing, we can get so easily hold of information. You just use this, and then you learn, because experience, you do experience, it means you do faults. Yes, you make faults. That's experience. And then we find out, okay, how could we do that in another way? Then you go out and find the information. And then the information meet your experience. Then you have knowledge. Today they talk about that they can read them to knowledge. No, it's information and communication. It has nothing to do with knowledge. Knowledge is when you compare put them together, experience and information. And that's, I will not even use the word school. The school we have, when you say school, it's like this. You sit there and I'm here. And now we are at school.
But I'm sure they are learning a lot of things, so it's not that black or white, is it?
But if you only sit there learning things, only do that, you learn nothing. You have to go in action.
In action.
Yes.
And that is what your speech was about, and Grobund is about action.
Yes.
Good luck in the future. Thank you, Steen.